Hello and welcome to the Jordan B.Peterson podcast. I'm B.Peterson. Quick update on my dad. He's not feeling well. His health has been pretty up and down for the last few months. It seems to be autoimmune, but he's taken a pause on content production until he's feeling better. It's been a really miserable few months, to be honest. I saw comments online and thought people might want an update if they're wondering where the new episodes are. This is episode 41, recorded on May 25th. Jordan and Warren Farrell discuss the struggles of developing and growing as young men. Young men all over the world are facing detrimental consequences due to educational pressure and the lack of exposure to a fatherly figure. They discuss Warren's book, The Boy Crisis, influences that surround men's development, the importance of parental guidance throughout the adolescent years, raising awareness on mental health, and how to break these cycles. I hope you enjoy this podcast and your week. This episode is sponsored by Allform. Allform's the new company launched by the people who made my lovely mattress, Helix. Allform is creating furniture that's super customizable. Visit allform.com/Jordan. You can pick your fabric, sofa color, color of the legs, sofa size, and shape to make sure it's perfect for you and your home. They have armchairs and love seats all the way up to an 8-seat sectional. You can start on a smaller scale too and buy more seats later if you want your Allform sofa to grow and change when you move. Their mid-century modern style furniture is very attractive and it's super in right now. My producer ordered a giant L-shaped sectional, 6 sections of brown leather with ottomans and pillows. It looks super fancy, but it's also comfortable and apparently transformed his living room. If getting a sofa without trying it in store feels a bit iffy, you don't need to worry about that either. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That's more than 3 months. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund. They even offer a forever warranty. Forever. To build your custom sofa, check out allform.com/Jordan. Allform's offering 20% off for all our listeners at allform.com/Jordan.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to be talking today with Dr. Warren Farrell, who I spoke with 3 years ago, almost to the day, about his previous book, Why Men Earn More. We're going to talk today about The Boy Crisis, which was published just after our last interview, so that's in 2018. Dr. Warren Farrell was chosen by the Financial Times as one of the world's top 100 thought leaders. His books have been published in more than 50 countries and in 19 different languages. They include the New York Times bestseller, Why Men Are the Way They Are, which must be a very thick book, plus the international bestseller, The Myth of Male Power. His most recent is The Boy Crisis. We mentioned Why Men Earn More as well, which is a very good book. His most recent is The Boy Crisis, as I said, 2018, co-authored with John Gray. The Boy Crisis was chosen as a finalist for the Forward Indies Award, which is the Independent Publishers Award. Dr. Farrell has been a pioneer in both the women's movement, elected 3 times to the board of the National Organization of Women in New York City, and the men's movement, called by GQ magazine the Martin Luther King of the men's movement. He conducts couples communications workshops nationwide. He's appeared on over 1,000 TV shows. That's way too many TV shows. And has been interviewed by Oprah, Barbara Walters, Peter Jennings, Katie Couric, Larry King, Tucker Carlson, Regis Philbin, and Charlie Rose. He has frequently written for and been featured in the New York Times and other major publications worldwide. He has 2 daughters, lives with his wife in Mill Valley, California, and resides virtually at www.warrenfarrell.com. As I said, we spoke 3 years ago. It was May 6, 2018, just before Dr. Farrell's book, The Boy Crisis, was published. We'll concentrate today on this book and associated topics. Hello, Warren. It's so good to see you.
It is so good to see you, more than normal, Jordan, for all the, we've had more than the Boy Crisis. We've had the Jordan Peterson crisis, obviously.
Yeah. A very dull topic, that.
I don't know. It's just amazing to me that during this process of you going through what you went through, not only with yourself, but with Michaela and with Tammy, that you're not only alive, but that you also produced an extraordinary book as well in that period of time. It's just beyond me.
No, thank you. Yeah, well, it helped keep me afloat. So I've been reviewing the boy crisis in quite a bit of detail over the last few days. It's something I haven't thought about for a while. Certainly, I've thought about it since our last conversation. The world has twisted and turned in all sorts of strange ways since then, and I suppose this issue has been pushed. This particular issue, the boy crisis, let's say, has been pushed to the back burner in a major way by all sorts of, cultural movements and by COVID, and it's not precisely on the radar. You mentioned to me just when we were discussing this issue, for example, at the beginning of our conversation today, before we started taping, that President Biden established a White House Gender Policy Council, which is supposed to focus on gender issues, but in your opinion, pretty much only focuses on women and girls, and is also supposed to focus on race, but pretty much ignores black boys, which is perhaps the intersectional place, to use a detestable phrase, where the crisis is the most noticeable. So why in the world should we assume that the topic of your book, the title of your book, refers to something that is real? And if it's real, why aren't we attending to it, and why is it important?
Well, first of all, it's real because in all 56 of the largest developed nations, boys are falling behind girls in almost every single academic subject, including reading and writing, which are the two biggest predictors of success or failure, as you can probably imagine. And boys who do badly in those subjects are much more likely to drop out of high school. Boys in general are much more likely to drop out of high school, especially in the United States. And boys who drop out of high school are more than 20% likely to be unemployed in their 20s. This is a statistic before COVID, when the unemployment rate in the United States was 3.4% versus more than 20% for boys. And so that's just the academic part of it. On the mental health part of it, when boys and girls are 9, they commit suicide about equally and very minimally. Between the ages of 10 and 14, boys commit suicide twice as often as girls. Between the ages of 15 and 19, they commit suicide 4 times as often as girls. Between the ages of 20 and 25, they commit suicide about 5 times as often as girls. And most people don't even know this, pay attention to this, but this is only the tip of the iceberg of the mental health issue. Where boys are far more likely to die from drug overdoses, opioid overdoses. They're